Ladies and gentlemen, now in today's video we're going to be having a little bit of fun with the OG queen of power control, Star Magik, who we're going to be taking up to rank 4 with one of the variant gems. One of the really great things about Magik is that there are 9 shots across the 3 different variants to get a rank 4 gem for Star Magik, because she is a 2015 champion, one of the oldest characters in the game. However, she did get a revamp about 3 years ago, and this revamp took Magik from being a little bit of a meme to arguably the best power control champion in the entire game, and I still think she holds up really well in 2019. However, this year there have been a fair few problematic matchups that aren't like as friendly for Magik, so I do think overall her value has been declining a little bit, but you still can't deny that there are so many amazing uses for Magik in a lot of the endgame content that exists at the moment. Today I wanted to start off with a classic Magik matchup. This is the first time I kind of really started paying attention to Magik, is when I saw this matchup against Groot like 3 years ago, because it just really highlights one of her very strong abilities to turn the opponent's debuffs into a massive amount of damage with the special 3, and also with the Mystic Dispersion Mastery. It's just such a fantastic matchup because you can siphon so much power back. So we pretty much go like special 3, special 2, special 2, and then a nice little special 1 to finish off that variant level Groot. Now today we're going to highlight all sorts of interesting matchups and uses for Magik in endgame content, but one piece of content that she's really good for is the hardest variant, Ultron's Assault Chapter 2, because you're very restricted in terms of who you can bring into Chapter 2, because you can only bring in tech champions or mystic champions, so you don't really have like many options to deal with at all, and there's a lot of crazy power gain, especially in that very first chapter as well. You can see here this Thor Ragnarok has like double power gain, he has his passive power gain as well, and also on top of that you have the spite node, so you have like 3 sources of crazy power gain in this matchup. But using Magik Special 2 you can absolutely shut this man down. So if the opponent has power on Special 2, you can steal up to 1 bar of power, but also every time you use the Special 2 it's always going to guarantee the power lock on the opponent on both of the hits. And it's really important to note that you power lock on both of the hits. This means on nodes like Masochism that would absorb a debuff, that you're going to apply the power lock once, it's going to consume Masochism, thus healing the opponent, but then also that second hit of the special 2 is going to power lock again. So you're going to trigger Masochism, but you're also going to power lock the opponent, and that's really the scenario you want to be a Magik, man. You just want to power lock them, keep them against the wall, and then try and intercept them as much as possible by doing like 4-hit backdrafts, and also recovery intercepts. So when the opponent stands up, you want to try and like bash into them before they can recover, thus intercepting them. And I'm alright at recovery intercepts, but I can't really get them down consistently, so yeah, I'm probably about like I would say a C tier Magik player. Like, I'm nothing like super special, but at the same time, you know, I kind of understand the basics, I know what's going on, but there are people that have like Magik at rank 5 that have pretty much been playing this champion like non-stop for 3 years, take her into absolutely everything, like high tier Alliance War as well, that are much better players than myself. And also it's worth noting that with the 5-star Magik, you can get a lot more limbo procs if you have her at Sig 200 as well. This is a champion that I've realized, especially with the Warlock synergy and the Morningstar synergy, which give you huge amounts of additional attack and also crit rate and crit damage, and these synergies depend on whether or not you have limbo active. So the signature ability increases the chance to trigger limbo per bar of power you've got. So yeah, a max Sig Magik is, you know, a little bit better. You can get even more damage output, plus additional kind of safety net with the limbo timing as well. Limbo can be a really great mechanic in certain matchups to reverse a little bit of damage you might take at an awkward time. But yeah, as you saw there, man, even with my Sig 40 Magik, just completely shut down that Hyperion and gave him a really good beating. And this node, if you haven't seen it before, it's kind of the yellow shield one, the destructive feedback. So why they have this yellow shield, they're going to store all of the damage, and if they make contact with you, then they deal the damage to you. However, if it expires, then they take the damage. So they're pretty much immune to damage, and you don't want to get hit while that yellow shield is up. But I've already got hit at the start, but luckily I hadn't dealt too much damage to Mordo, so it wasn't much of a problem there. But here we just want to get to a special to shut this man down and bang out some backdraft intercepts. Now we've got the power lock. I go for a recovery intercept there, but unfortunately we don't quite make the timing. We use a heavy attack to break the power gain there, and we're just hitting into block, 4 hits, dash back, and then another 4 hits, dash back. We're trying to like let him gain a little bit of power, just because again, if he has like up to 1 bar of power, we can actually steal that, which allows us to get to our special 2 a little bit faster, get a bit more damage output overall, because the special 2 does hit fairly hard when it does come to magic. So, you know, it's a good time if you can to try and let the opponent maybe gain like a little bit of power in like a non-threatening matchup like this, so you can siphon that power back and get a bit of a reward. I saw there actually and noticed, I'm a little bit confused by this, because he had no power, but we somehow like siphoned some back with the last special 2, so it didn't happen with this one. I really don't know what was what was going on there, but hey, you know, certainly can't complain, man. Got a little bit more damage output, so we're going for another special 2, just about managed to get that destructive feedback Mordo down before his next shield. Now, next up, we have the Symbiote Spider-Man matchup. This guy also has the aspect of War Node and also Life Cycle, so providing he's got this kind of shield icon active, we can't kill him, but every time we knock him down with a special or a heavy, the time which we can kill him and he can die increases a little bit more, so we start off by evading the special 1, a pretty good start there, but again, we do have the aspect of War Node, so whenever this guy throws a special attack, he's going to go unstoppable, gain evade, and also he's gradually reducing our block proficiency, so we cannot block, and after 50 seconds he's going to be unblockable as well. So a super fun combination of nodes here, but what we're trying to do is lock this man down with a special 2, get him into the corner, and then just intercept this man, keep it going, play very aggressively, don't allow him to gain any power, so then we don't need to worry about aspect of war or the evade either, and it's a pretty good tactic, man. Works out really well against the Symbiote Spider-Man. So 4 hits, dash back, 4 hits, dash back. He's reached that point on the aspect of War Node now where he's gone unblockable as well, and also I'm all out of my Nick Fury evade charges because I was being a little bit cheeky with those at the beginning of the fight. We managed to throw off a special 2, break the life cycle node, and then get him down with an intercept and 5 combo. So a really nice little finish to that matchup, and just shows you how powerful magic can be against the aspect of war nodes. She is truly one of the best counters to aspect of war when you can use her, but I think as well like She-Hulk, Spider-Gwen, especially the brand new Spider-Man as well, their ability to like cancel out Unstoppable is also very powerful on these nodes. But hey, if you got a magic man, she can be a really good option to bring along, and I think the fact that so many 2015 rank up gems are becoming available now, you just have so many different ways that even if you're not like super fussed about getting magic to rank 4, if you do pull a Mystic, she is probably the best option for a lot of people to take up to rank 4. So I imagine as the game goes on and on and on, we're just going to be seeing more and more magics at rank 4. And also, if they keep on releasing variant content, man, and it's kind of around the level of difficulty of this previous variant, then that's going to be a really good time, because it doesn't look like the rank up gems are going to block out characters from like earlier years. So I would say there's a very good chance that we're going to see like another 2016, 2015 rank up gem, and then like after that we might be looking at 2017 rank up gems that also include 2016 and 2015 champions. So yeah, the point is there might be a lot of ways that you can take a magic up to rank 4, but we just had another beautiful counter against another aspect of War Node Venom there. But let's move on to the Juggernaut matchup next. So Juggernaut again is a really great matchup for magic and has always been. Juggernaut, the big problem is unstoppable and shutting it down, but if he doesn't throw special attacks, he cannot gain unstoppable. So this Juggernaut matchup is a little bit annoying to deal with when it comes to Act 6, just because he's the combination of the Spite node and also Combo Party. So you're essentially forced to get a crit damage buff, which is always going to trigger Spite and give him like a massive flood of power. However, with Magic Man, you got that power lock on the special too. Just shut this man down, bang out some intercepts, and you're just having an absolute giggle. So here in this fight, another special 2, we've just shut him down so incredibly effectively here. You know, going for those 4 combo backdrafts, they're working out quite well, and because of the Combo Party node as well, we've actually managed to gain a huge amount of additional crit damage here very easily. So when we are critting, especially with Limbo Man, we're dealing massive damage. You can see we've got a 26k special 2 there, which is a really good time. And as mentioned before, today we do have the Warlock, the Morningstar, and also I've got Nick Fury and Quake on the team as well, just for the 3 evade charges and 10% additional attack. So I thought this would be best for today's gameplay video, just because the evade charges do give us a bit of a safety buffer if we do fail an intercept. Now, this next matchup against Domino is a bit of an awkward one with Magik. It doesn't really work maybe as well as you want it to. This matchup might be a little bit easier against Domino if you have a high sig Magik, because you can get more limbo procs and maybe reverse it, a little bit more fun and interactive damage, or, you know, just reduce the chance of you getting critical failure whenever you bypass a bar of power there. But yeah, we've power locked Domino. Unfortunately, we didn't get the power drain. That failed because we do have additional ability accuracy reduction because we are suffering from unlucky at the moment. But we're going in ham, man, trying to get as much damage as we can, as much value out of that power lock against Domino. But this is a pretty beefy Act 6 Domino as well, so she's certainly not the easiest opponent. I think we took another round of damage from failing kind of the combo party node as well. So between that and Domino's fun and interactive damage, we are getting a little bit ruined in this, but we're doing all right, mate. I wanted to see if we could salvage this matchup and make a little bit of a comeback here. So we go for another special 2. We get the power lock there, which is absolutely perfect. And if you can shut down the power on Domino, then you also shut down the evades and also the unlucky as well. So once you get her to a state of, you know, you've got 0 power on her, she's maybe a little bit easier to deal with. But Magik certainly is not the best Domino counter out there. However, there's a cable directly after Domino, and I wanted to see if we could do it with only like 15% health left, despite having the combo party degeneration node as well. So in this matchup, the goal is to get to the special 2 so we can lock him down. So I'm waiting for the power gain to expire so we can gain a little bit more power, trying to gain some power on the parries as well. Then we want to go in for a very quick 3 combo and then fire off the special 2 to shut this man down and try and bang out an intercept there. So we didn't get the intercept, but we did get the power lock on Cable, which is exactly what we need. And this is just another example of a great matchup for Magik. She's really good for a lot of the slightly more annoying champions that have been in this game quite a bit. But one of my concerns when it does come to Magik, and I'm very interested if you're kind of a very pro Magik player, somebody that's got this character at rank 5, I feel like the more that the game has gone on, the less like really great matchups she has, because there are a lot of champions, especially have been released in the last year and a bit, where Magik is not really like that useful or that viable to play. Matchups like Thing, the Invisible Woman, like Mr. Sinister. Havoc's also a little bit of a tricky matchup to deal with. I think Annihilus as well is immune to power control, so he's not really the best matchup for Magik. Like Symbiote Supreme works significantly better against an Annihilus. And thinking about a few of those matchups, I guess you can win them with Magik. I think it's just a case of like, we don't really see Magik as the top option for a lot of stuff, or the first pick for a lot of players at the moment. She seems to be kind of going down a little bit in terms of her overall hype level. But yeah, I'm curious to get your thoughts on it. Again, if you are kind of a very veteran Magik player, you have this champion at rank 5, because just to throw it out there, I'm really considering a bit of a revamp of the Beyond God tier, and I'm thinking of demoting Magik to just God tier, because I think she is just an amazing champion, like honestly so good for power control in a lot of scenarios and just completely shuts opponents down. But I do think when it comes to the higher stakes Alliance Wars and Alliance Quest, you just not really seeing much Magik nowadays in comparison to other characters like Ghost, Corvus Glaive, Symbiote Supreme. And I think kind of the death of Magik has been that you can either ignore special attacks by phasing on Ghost, or you're playing Corvus Glaive and the opponent is dead before they can use a special attack. So maybe those champions, when it comes to the very top of the meta at the moment, I think they maybe have pushed Magik down a little bit comparatively in a lot of the more tricky matchups. But saying that, again, I do want to emphasize that in no way do I think Magik is a bad champion. I still think she's absolutely banging in the right scenario where you need her power control, her ability to completely shut down opponents. I just think in comparison to other options, I've just noticed a little bit less love overall for Magik, and that like less people are taking her up to rank 5 in comparison to other options that they want to play in endgame content. So yeah, I'm just curious to put it out there, get some additional thoughts. But saying that, I've seen some really good Magik gameplay versus Nick Fury in Alliance War, just because with that power control you can potentially keep him shut down in the corner, so that can work out, you know, very, very well in the right matchup. And I think like Mysterio, outside of having that really annoying poison node, if you can just shut down his special attacks, like he really doesn't have much going on if he's not using any special. So maybe, you know, with Mysterio coming into Alliance War, maybe he's going to be a little bit annoying for some people. Maybe Magik's going to have a little bit of a comeback if we're seeing a lot of Mysterio, a lot of Nick Fury. And I was thinking as well, for the stealth suit version of Spider-Man, man, like once you've gotten rid of his evade, the only way he can activate it is by using a special one again or waiting 25 seconds. So if you can lock down his power man, maybe less evades on that Spider-Man, so maybe not as efficient as like Corvus Glaive evade counter, but hey, it could still work in the right matchup. And also this month we got Warlock as well, and he's mainly annoying because of his special one, but also I suppose with Warlock's like infection as well, there will be the chance that Magik's limbo and also her power control mechanics are going to fail. So yeah, I don't really know if Magik is going to be a great Warlock counter, but hey, she might work alright for that matchup. Well, you know, we're going to have to see on that one. But one matchup that I actually quite love, this is the Bishop matchup. This is all or nothing Bishop with Magik. Now, if you overload Bishop, get him over 30 charges, he starts to deal insane amounts of energy damage to himself. And if you power lock him, then he can't expend those energy charges, so you can see like he's still about 3,000 damage every half a second at the end of that fight. So if there's ever like a really big Bishop, if there's like Labyrinth of Legends 2.0 and there's like a 3 million Bishop, you've just got to use Magik and you can overload that man in no time and it's going to be great fun. So that's a little bit of a fun one there. Now this next fight is against Killmonger, and I do make a few mistakes on this one, but Magik is alright against Killmonger. She actually used to be one of the most popular options to use in top tier Alliance War when we had the previous map and you had like that cornered, I think it was Masochism Killmonger with Aspect of Evolution as well, so shutting down his power control was a great way to go about that fight, because again, Magik does apply her power lock twice on the special too, so it makes it really effective against Masochism nodes. Now, ideally against Killmonger, you want a very high signature level Magik and some very aggressive gameplay. That way, hopefully, you can rewind the majority of reverberation damage that you're taking, because at the end of every limbo, you're going to regenerate a little bit, but also you do still take damage from reverberation, so it's not really a foolproof strategy there. However, we are also in the Act 6 chapter where Loki is the boss, and this has the very interesting note where if you are next to the opponent, you start to regenerate, but if you're away from the opponent, if there's distance in the fight, then you start to degenerate as well. And where we can play very aggressively in these matchups because of Magik's power lock, it just makes it a really good regeneration fiesta. So we've managed to heal up a fair bit there. However, we did take a lot of damage from reverberation there, man. We got absolutely ruined. Actually rewinded via limbo there, took a load more damage, and we still got limbo triggering. And if that matchup had lasted like a second longer, I think we would have healed back up to about 70-80% there, and it would have been a pretty good time. But that didn't happen. Overall though, against Killmonger, we still got some really good value. Now, to round this video off, I wanted to showcase the final boss fight against Loki. So in this fight, we actually have the dulled node as well, which means we have a minus 50% chance to crit. So it just makes it a really long fight. But Magik's great for this one anyway, because you can power lock him, you can stay very close, and especially with like Loki's power gain, this fight can be a little bit tricky with certain champions because he's constantly using the special one and kind of pushing you backward. But with Magik, as you can see here, we got the power lock, we're regenerating a ton from this node, and it is a really good time. So overall, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts on Magik in 2019 in the comments section below. Should Magik stay a Beyond God tier champion, or should she be demoted to God tier? What are your thoughts on the discussion? But aside from that, if you did enjoy today's Magik rank 4 rank up and gameplay video, please do smash that like button. All the support is certainly appreciated. But aside from that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.